Hello again, everyone. Several people have asked the way I go about creating a commission card. Whenever anybody wants something special and ask for a specific card to be made, I try and ask a few questions about the person, what they like, what they don't like, the sort of, just to give the right sort of mood for the feeling of the card. Well, I've been asked to make a 6th anniversary card, and the lady said to me, I looked it up and it said sugar. So I thought, I'll do a cake, whatever. She sent me a little message to say that it was iron. And I know lots of these anniversaries have different connotations, you know, different associations. So when she said iron, I thought, right, I'll try and do wrought iron. And I've got this die. I don't remember the make of this one, but I know there are several very, very similar on the market. So I cut out 2 and stack them together. My idea is, I've cut a square card here. This is the largest square I can get from a sheet of A4, British A4. And I've cut 2 panels. The top one is just slightly smaller. I've used these dies. These are Presscut nesting dies, and they come in such small increments. They are so versatile. You can do all sorts with them. So what I have a fancy to do is to put the heart onto the top panel, and then I'm going to emboss this, and I'm going to try and make the embossing look like iron. So that's that's the kind of experiment that we're going to go on to today. Put that onto the front panel. She has asked me for some specific wording. So what I thought I would do is to do a little bow, tie it with my bow maker, but I will make a little tag, and I will do the writing appropriately sized to fit on the tag, tie the tag, and have the tag hanging from the heart as well. That will be on that panel. No, that's the bigger one. It'll be on the smaller panel. And what I want to do is to emboss the edge of this under panel in the same embossing powder that I use for the heart itself, just to tie it in. So we're going to have a heart with a tag and a bow. This is one of those irritating ribbons that you get inside sweaters and blouses and all that kind of stuff, so that they stay on the hanger in the store. So I just cut them off and I use them on cards. So I will show you how I tie a bow, but I won't be putting it straight on the card because I have yet to do the writing. I'll do that on the computer, and I do have a video of how I make sentiments on the computer, so you can look at that one to help if you're not sure what to do. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is to try and emboss this. I've dug out a bunch of embossing powders. I have got some very old black. And I found this, and I've only just taken the cellophane off this, and I don't think this is made anymore. This is a distress embossing powder. They make a new one now with the distress glaze, but this stuff doesn't dry shiny. It's just kind of a matte distress sort of look. So I've got some of that. I've got some platinum. What I thought I would do is I've got a little pot, I'll make a mix of all 3 and just see how we go. I don't know if it's going to work or not. And I've also got some silver gilding wax, and I thought I could just perhaps put an odd little highlight or something with that. I don't know if I'll use that or not. So we're just going to see what happens. Suck it and see, as they say. Okay, here's my heart. Just going to press it into my Versamark pad. I know a lot of people put ink on dies like this with a brayer, but I just do this. I feel I get a better coverage somehow. Whether it's right or wrong, doesn't know. There's a bit missing there. Right there. That's pretty much got it. I intend to do more than one coat anyway, so we will see. Pop that onto here. Well, keep it out of the way for a minute. Let me just try a mix of these powders and see what happens. Once I've mixed them, obviously, I won't be able to put them back into their pots, but we'll just leave it in this pot, and if it doesn't get used, it can get through. It won't be much anyway. Okay, there's some black. Don't think that's been used before. Look, it's pretty full, isn't it? £2.99, that tells a tale, doesn't it? Goodness me. Right, this is the Black Soot Distress, the one that doesn't go shiny when it's heated. It just stays. Let's put some of this in. I really don't know what's going to happen with this, because we can alter the mix slightly with a second application, can't we? So we'll just see how we go. And this is the Platinum. Don't know, is this a Ranger? I don't know what make this is. I'll have a look in a minute. A little bit of Platinum. Okay. Yes, that's a Ranger. Okay, now I'm going to mix this up. Let's use the end of one of these, because that makes a dreadful scratching noise in one of these little things. And what do we think? Well, it looks black, but let's see how we go on, shall we? Pop it onto here. I'm hoping it's going to be a, I don't know, kind of crusty looking. We'll see, I don't know. I guess you could mix a bit of sand or something in with an embossing powder to give it some texture. The embossing powder itself should, you know, bind it together. Right, let's see. Ooh, the moment of truth. Let's put this back. I'll be using some more in a minute. So we may adapt it slightly depending on how it works. So we'll see. Well, I don't know what you think, but I think that looks pretty cool, really. Can you see? Reminds me of a wrought iron gate. I'm going to do another layer. Make sure it's cool. I don't want to wreck my... I've got a nice pristine. I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use a different one. I don't want to wreck it. Let's see. Oh, that's another clean one. Oh, crumbs. Where's the next best one? Let's do this one. Okay. Just in case. I don't want to, just don't want to get any... there shouldn't be a problem, but I just don't want to wreck a pristine. Okay. Someone mentioned, I had forgot to say that if you are using, you know, embossing powder and you've got several layers, or if you're using UT, the thick stuff, you can, whilst it's still molten, put another layer on, because it's molten, it'll grab the next lot of powder. But I started trying to do that when I first did triple embossing donkeys years ago, but I prefer doing it with an extra layer of Versamark, I have to say. It's just personal preference, but you know, if it works for you, you do it. I'm all for it. Right. pop that down again. Put this back in its little pot. There's not a lot left over. If I did an extra layer again, we'd use even more of it, wouldn't we? Let's see. That's pretty cool, don't you? You see? It's got that rough texture, which is this distress powder. What you could do, I don't know what you could use instead. I would try a little sand or something like that, just a tiny little bit, mixed in with the powder to try and give it that rough sort of edge. Now, what I'd like to do is just do, which is the smaller one. I've got powder everywhere. It's the larger one I need, don't I? The one from behind. To put a little bit of this powder just around the edge. We'll see. I don't know if it's going to work or not. We'll see. I'm going to use the decent one for this. Right. There's very little showing, to be honest, around the edge of that smaller panel. And I don't even think it matters if it's completely covered. I could always go over it with a bit of black ink if I didn't like the look of it. Can I just see what happens? Just see. It's the idea of the thing, is what I fancy. Right. I could put this on the mat and do this, but I'd get so much waste on the mat that I chose to hold it in my hand. Okay, let's see. It is a really nice juicy one at the minute. So there's not a lot left, but hopefully there'll be enough to go around the edge of this. There we go, one more. And whatever's left, I'm going to put as a final layer onto the heart itself. Are we okay here? I think we might be. Oh, there's a bit on the corner there. As I say, I could always put a bit of ink on if I don't like the look of it. Right. There we go. My fingers are a little bit powdery. Right, now I'm going to heat this one, I think, from just underneath, just for this to start. There's a lot of loose stuff here. There we go. Right, now here's my top panel. That will go on there, comme ça. Oh, it's still a bit, is it wet? No, just a bit of drag, that's all. I thought it was still a bit... That looks nice, doesn't it? That will go on there with its tag. And I'll just quickly show you how I do a bow. I may decide to put something behind this. If I fancy a colour or whatever behind it, what I would do is just draw around a die cut, not draw around the die because the die is bigger. Draw around the die cut with whatever technique I fancy as a background, and then just stick this onto it. Right, just let me do a bow. Very easy. You go around the posts, cross over the two pieces, take the top one underneath the other and through, bring it back over, and then you just tie a single knot like that, and it's done. What I would do if I was putting a tag on, I'll just do this again, if I can undo it. It's quite a fine ribbon. Right, here we go. What I would do is this, around here, cross one over the other, pass it through, then I would thread this one through the hole of the tag, have the tag hanging down, right side facing away from me, bring it over, and then tie my second knot. I do believe I have got a video showing that very process. So I'm going to carry on and finish this. I will put the finished card on the community page and on my Facebook page and onto Instagram, but maybe not immediately because of just checking that I've got the right words with the lady who commissioned it. So there we go. Another one is on its way. Thanks so much for watching.